So Ola, you've recently expanded your role to take on the governance of our transformation function, and last month I did a video blog and also a written blog around end-to-end ownership and what it means for me. So I thought maybe as a first question, give us your thoughts on really what end-to-end ownership means for you.
Thank you for the question, Scott. And I think for me, whilst the transformation is really about making sure that the change that we're introducing is a source of competitive advantage for our clients, the end-to-end ownership is really a fundamental part of it. And for me, in my head, in my simple mind, when I compare the fund production process to let's say a car manufacturing process, and we operate in quite a big factory, we produce quite a lot of cars, different colors, different type of engine, different wheels. We have probably 4 or 5 different types of technology right now. A fairly manual process, I would say 40% of process that we do is quite manual. We have our car suppliers or car parts suppliers that are providing parts from different process delivery function. Sometimes the parts come in okay, sometimes not, for whatever reason. And I think there's also a parts production process that happens directly in a factory that shouldn't really happen. And I think when the car is ready, and we pick up a phone to our client delivery colleagues, asking them to let the customer know that the car is ready. And I think there's also an element of a checking, an element production that happens with our client delivery colleagues. And I think for me, taking this example and translating to end-to-end ownership, I think it's really about making sure that each member of the process know what they're accountable for, know what they're measured against, and ultimately we know who is ultimately accountable for making sure that the car we produce is in line with what the customer has signed up for. Would you agree?
So I fully agree. A lot of terms we hear related to transformation include things like North Star, or I heard recently in a meeting, non-North Star. And in that same meeting, we talked about automation and robotics. Is it all the same? Can you help us just understand the jargon, the terminology?
And I think for the sake of simplification, all the elements are interrelated. So North Star, not really so much different. I guess North Star is a term used for our global transformation program, which is focused on our process, product, and client delivery groups, and making sure that within 3 years, we fundamentally change our model. And I think we're looking at the teams of SegVault, derivatives, fund accounting, obviously, client delivery, and making sure that we use, that we kind of look at resolving our 3 main issues. And the 3 main issues is really not so difficult and not so complex. And I think the first one is really the fragmented operating model. And I think, again, coming back to end-to-end, we want to make sure that everyone along the process know what they're doing. The second element is the manuality of the process, and again, using our robotics or automation to make our life a little bit easier and a little bit more prone to errors, I guess. And the third one is really related to the technology. By the fact that we're having 4 or 5 different production lines to produce our cards is not helping us at all. And I think North Star or no North Star, it's really looking at making sure we basically make our life easier for us and more importantly for our clients.
So we're hiring a lot of new employees into State Street. If I'm coming in at an entry-level fund accountant or in our global process delivery team or any other operational group, what does this mean for me in my day-to-day life at State Street? And I guess secondly, what do I need to do to contribute and make sure it's a success?
We're going through quite a revolution, I think. We are fundamentally changing the model, fundamentally trying to change the technology, and I think for us, it's really about making our life easier. And I think by automating some of the manual repetitive tasks, it will allow us to focus on elements that boost our creativity, where we can use our problem-solving skills, our analytical skill set for the benefits of our clients. So I think our work will become perhaps a little bit more difficult, but again, a little bit more challenging. And I think the element that will be actually fundamentally important is the element of ownership. I think the times that we will go back and look at somebody else to solve our problems are gone. And I think we need to take accountability for the work that we do, speak up if there's an element that don't really feel okay, and try to solve it, really. And I think that's the key element. And I think one other element is an element of simplification. And I think with the amount of information that we receive daily from different channels, I think we need to have the ability to explain it to each other, but more importantly to our clients in a simple, I would say transversal, communicative manner. And I think that's going to be quite important.